Alright guys, we're in Jacksonville, Florida to see one of the greatest drummers in the world, Virgil Donati. That's his kit right there in this little bar. And I'm going to have my mind blown. This is going to be really fun. I don't know if I'll be able to get footage of the band, but as a drummer, this is an important night for me. Okay. Well, stopped off at the water real quick after sound check. Jacksonville Beach. Well, alright guys, hope y'all enjoyed a few clips of the drumming master, Virgil Donati. He is like top 2 in the world, right there with Thomas Lang. It's hard to pick a winner. I guess it's just personal preference. Those two guys are monsters. And Virgil Donati started it all. He was the first drummer to ever obtain the skills that he has. And you know, Thomas Lang is the only other guy I would put at that level. But anyway, we're back to more practical matters out here in the fish cave, and we're gonna do a bunch of stickworms today. I have a color in mind that I want to make. I think it'll look really cool. It's kind of a bright color. It's real visible in your face. It kind of looks like it would normally be maybe a saltwater color, but I really want to make it in some stickworms, so that's what we're gonna do. So let's get started. Okay, everybody, thank you guys so much for tuning in today. So about that stickworm color, I have some stickworm molds here, and it's gonna be sort of a chartreuse and blue. So one side is gonna be blue, and this is gonna have small black flake. So here's some Luracraft 0.015 black. The other side is going to be, let's see, and also I'm going to put some little blue in the blue side. So blue pigment, small blue flake, small black flake. Other side is going to be chartreuse, and we're going to put, I don't know if I'm going to use this big, the large black flake yet, so we'll just put a maybe on that. but we're gonna put some of this big square cut silver in it. So like I said, sort of a real bright saltwatery type of color, but I think it's gonna be killer in a stick worm. So I have 4 cups worth of dead on plastic worm blend. So we're gonna go ahead and get that cooking, and then I'm gonna go ahead and clamp my molds, and then we'll go ahead and build the 2 colors and just see what we have. I am gonna use salt since these are stick worms, and then we'll talk a little bit about that. So we're gonna go ahead and nuke these. 2 of these in there together needs about 7.5 to 8 minutes of cook time, so we will see you after that. Man, guys, just sitting here waiting on the microwave to cook. It's like, come on. It's like the longest 7 minutes of your life. But yeah, this is some really cool flake. This is MF manufacturing flake here. This is Lurecraft flake. These 2 are Lurecraft. Some Lure Works colorant and some dead on plastic colorant. So kind of a wide variety of items that we're using here. We've got the bath ready over yonder, and just waiting on the microwave. Okay, everybody, so we have our plastic here. So it is time to make some colors. Let me scooch the camera maybe a little to where the cups are more in the center. So we're gonna take our chartreuse here. Come on. All right, and this is a pretty light chartreuse. It's very translucent, so it does take quite a bit of color to thicken it up, but the salt will help thicken it up once we add salt. Yeah, so I mean, you can look at the knife, and you can tell that it's very, very, very light. So I may have to go to my dead on chartreuse colorant, but I wanted to use this because it just looked like it had the exact hue that I was looking for. Boy, that's bubbly now. I hate it when my pigments get bubbly, but that does happen. You know, and Lure Works probably makes a chartreuse that is not see-through. I may have bought like see-through chartreuse, and you know, there's only so much you can do with it. It will kind of never truly thicken up. That's not, well, it's not too bad. We're gonna let that sit. But for now, we're gonna do this blue side, and this is much more thick stuff here, so we don't wanna add too much. So we'll kind of start with that. That's not a lot, really, considering that this is over 2 measuring cups of plastisol. Okay. Yeah, definitely need a little bit more though. Definitely need some more. I mean, talk about 2 contrasting colors. You know, this is, like I said, this is very saltwater. Make this in a small swim bait and you've got a trout and redfish slayer on your hands here. That's what this reminds me of, like, immediately. Alright, so we're going to add some flake, of course. So some small black, and this will actually darken that up. So anytime you add flake, it always changes the hue of your plastic, especially when you add dark flake to something. So that's going to make the blue darker as a whole, the more you add. So yeah, we're gonna do a little bit more than that. That didn't quite show up as well as I wanted it to. And then once you add salt, that kind of lessens the amount of flake you can see because it clouds up the color, so it's not as transparent after that. Yeah, that's quite a bit. Okay, that's a little closer to what I wanted. And then now we're gonna add some fine blue. This is the 0.008. So we're gonna add a little bit of that. A little bit goes a long way. That's okay if there's some spillover. These are laminates, so there's usually a little bit of spillover in the laminate anyway. Oh, I like that. Can y'all really see that? I know the camera's a little far out. I actually do want to add some of this big 0.062. Good Lord, that was a cluster. I actually do want to add some of the big stuff to this, just for texture's sake. I think that will really kind of set it off quite nice. Yeah, I'm really starting to like that. That is neat. All right, so, and then on this chartreuse side, we're gonna do this big silver square flake. And I hope this doesn't ruin it, but we're gonna do quite a bit of that. You know, you could probably use hologram flake here as well. Just something shiny, because there's not a whole lot of shininess to that side. But this side is, ugh, look at that. That big, yeah, that big glitter likes to stick together, so it can be harder to stir in some of that giant flake. Yeah, I'm gonna have to put these through the vacuum chamber for sure. Yep, those colorants are messing my play, you know, because y'all saw that it was pretty much bubbleless. But you know, once you have colorants for a while, they do draw moisture in through those containers. We need quite a bit more of this, it looks like. So we're gonna kind of start there. Try to get that stirred in a little bit better so it doesn't just all stick to the knife. Yeah, there we go. It's looking a little more like it. Alrighty. Yeah, I think we have something that we can work with. Okay, on to the next step. Okay, and the next step here is salt. And salt, a lot of times, holds moisture. And so you kind of go into it knowing that you're gonna need to probably vacuum out your plastic. So we're gonna go ahead and add our salt now, and then we'll use the vacuum chamber. So this is a 1/4 of a measuring cup. And I normally, back when I was using different plastisol, I would use a full scoop of this per like measuring cup of plastic. And it would really load them up with salt, but I'm using a lot less now. And I'm doing that because the Dead on Plastic black bucket plastisol is already a heavy, dense, sinking plastic all on its own. So I don't need to just completely load up my stickworms with salt unless either A, the customer asks for it, or if I'm trying to match, you know, the exact salt or feel or density of another manufacturer. But in order to get a good stickworm here, I really don't need a lot of it. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna put these in the vacuum chamber, and that'll clean this up real quick. And then hopefully we can make some baits. Okay, everybody, we're back. So we're gonna get our two sides stirred up here. Okay. If I can get this knife going. Make sure, you know, you always want to make sure that you have your salt stirred in really well. Alrighty. So now, get our laminate block out, the blending block. Okay. And here we go. Let's see what we can get. Boom. Alright. Nice, slow, even pressure. A thick bait like a stickworm, I always like to hold pressure on the mold because they are prone to denting. I think there's just so much mass there that as the plastic cools, it's kind of prone to denting in. So definitely like to hold some pressure there. All right. Tell you what, I like the way that those are mixing together up there at the top of the at the head of the sprue. So I'm hoping that these will look pretty neat. Saltwater stickworms, huh? Okay. Top off some sprues. Yeah. All right. We're gonna get these back in the microwave and see how we did. No joke, ladies and gentlemen, that is a live spider crawling out of my mold. Be careful. You never know what's hiding in your molds. I'm sure he did not like all of the heat. Yeah. That was very, very unpleasant. All right. Drum roll. After watching Virgil Donati, this is going to be really underwhelming. But we're going to do it anyway. Okay. Hey, kind of like a aqua. Yes, look at that. Look at that. Yeah, you could call these like aqua, I don't even know what. But I really like the color. It's 100% a saltwater swim bait color. But today, it's a bass worm. So this is interesting. I had left an orange tip in one of the molds. How about that? Oops. That's certainly interesting right there. Didn't mean to do that. Okay. There is round number 1 with our weird orange tip. So those are gonna go in the bath. All right. And they are salted, so you don't want to leave them in the bath for like a long time because that salt will draw in moisture and they will kind of puff up and become cloudy. If you've ever let your stick worms or Yamamoto Senkos or whatever you're using, if you've ever let those get wet, like maybe in your tackle box, and then you come back a few hours later or overnight, you'll know what I'm talking about. They never look good. All right, we're gonna inject another, shoot another round here. Looks like we're a little lower on the blue side than the chartreuse. So hopefully we can get another full round of molds. I do have some some leftovers that I can melt. Okay, yeah, that felt like it worked. Oh, I hate it when that happens. When you spill it, that's no bueno, always. Okay, we're gonna go a little faster because I don't want it to set up on me. Okay. All right. And get this last one here. Hopefully we have enough. Be amazed at how much plastic it takes to fill the sprue and 4 of these stickworm cavities. You know, this is only a 5-inch stickworm. This is your basic size. It's nothing big, it's nothing crazy, but it does take a lot of plastic, sort of like a frog. All right, so we have the final remaining plastic from each cup heating up. Yeah, looking good there. Nice even laminate in the sprue, and I like how I've done kind of this sort of blue and chartreuse green color before, but I really like how the blue kind of turns the chartreuse green. You know, the whole color is essentially like 2 shades of green almost. So I really love that, and I like the big silver. I'm glad I chose to put some of the larger flakes in it, like some of that larger black, and definitely the larger silver. I think the texture looks really quite fantastic. So I'm definitely very happy about that. Very happy with this bait, and I'd like to see it in some other stuff as well. Okay, we're gonna use as much as we can here, so we have some left. Went ahead and transferred it into the smaller cups, so we'll just see how much we can get. Should be a fairly decent amount, maybe 3 molds worth here. So again, nice steady pressure. Come all the way over here to the left side. Okay, and we'll even have a little bit left over after this. You know how the cups always have like a skin left in them. So we still have the very bottoms and the skin left of the larger cups. So that might be enough to play around with. I might grab a different mold and we may have got all 4. But I may grab another mold and use that last bit of plastic just so we can see it in a different shape. So hopefully we can do that. And sorry that the lighting kind of changes. The sun keeps coming in here. My garage faces west, and so I have to try to keep that light out best I can. So with that said, we're gonna keep moving along. All right. Actually ate dinner between doing these and shooting these right here and now. So actually I don't really even need to put those in the water because they've had time to kind of more or less set up in the mold. I don't know if it's in frame, but I went ahead and laid out the contents of that over there. And then we're gonna make a few things after this, just to try to use the rest of our plastic, because this is such a neat color. Kind of don't want to waste any of it. You know, I usually have, you know, a certain degree of leftover after each video. Yeah, enough to play with again a little bit at a later date. But we're going to try to really whittle this down to nothing left. So, yeah, those are pretty good. I like that. It's definitely different for a stickworm. Alright, a few bonus baits here. We're going to make something that is probably what a color like this is actually for. I'm going to do a few jerk baits here. Yeah, I feel like these would dominate in saltwater. But not these right here. These are salty, soft worm blend jerk baits. But they're still going to work really well. They'll have mad action. But of course, if you were making these for toothy saltwater critters or pike or muskie, you would, that may not have laminated. You would want to obviously use firmer plastic. So hopefully we'll get at least one good, oh gosh, at least one good shot out of these in the jerkbait. All right, let's see if any of these worked. Alrighty, yeah, not bad, not bad at all. Pretty cool. I love that little black flake in this. Without that, this would not look near as good as it does, I feel like. Glad I did that. It's and what's funny is that it kind of looks like pepper. You know, all you're doing is just adding a little bit of seasoning, right? Whenever you add flake, that should be like the new term. All right, we're gonna season it with blue, silver, and purple flake. You know. Okay, these worked out. I didn't think they had laminated as evenly, but that is perfecto. Awesome. Yeah, let's take a look at them in the bath. The water kind of brings the colors out, at least here in person. But better camera angle will be taking them out of the bath. Yeah. What do you guys think? Pretty cool. Okay, everybody, there we are. I think that's looking pretty good. Yeah. Not bad. Not bad one bit. I don't know if you guys can hear that airplane in the back, but really cool color. Please, comments down below. Let me know what you think. All right, everybody, that's gonna wrap this one up. Like I said earlier, thank you guys so much for tuning in. I hope you find this content worth your while. If you're a small bait maker at home, or if you just like all things fishing and tackle and tackle craft is a part of that, I hope you like the content. Cool color, definitely saltwater color, but kind of the reason I wanted to make this cut, because I had seen something like that before, and that's kind of what made me want to do this color. But it was a little saltwater bait, and I said, that's gonna make a good stickworm. So I had to try it. You know, I said, some of those saltwater colors like new penny, I'm definitely gonna do new penny. Those are like great colors for bass lures, but you never see it. So we're definitely gonna do some more of that as well. We have some really awesome swim baits coming up in the next few videos, so be on the lookout for that. We're gonna be doing some cool stuff. But anyway, shoot me a comment down below. Chris, those are good. Chris, those are not so good. If you want to buy these, of course, holler at me. I'll sell them to you. There's quite a bit of them there, so definitely will make a good tackle box filler. But that's going to wrap this video up. Thanks again so much for watching, and we'll catch you next time.